With the Pulp 4G and Pulp Fab 4G, Wiko has shown up with two very interesting phones, both dual SIM removable battery, I show you later, and especially 5-inch for 190 euros and 5.5-inch for 200 euros. Like always, including tax, without any contract. Prices here, Germany, Europe, and may vary in different countries. But for my market here, it's kind of interesting and cheap. So let's have a closer look. Especially on the back side, of course, in that price range, that's not real leather, but plastic, but it's looking like and always a little bit feeling like, so a good grip for the fingers. This is okay with that metal looking frame here. Okay, there are more classy phones from the looks and the feel, but for that price, again, it's okay. Stability, well, if I'm trying to wind here, maybe you can hear some noises in the background and you feel how it's moving a little bit inside, and that's the same on the big one. But you do not have any drops where the glass is going down onto the panel and maybe hurt the pixels during time. So it could be a little bit better from stability, but again, I guess for that price range kind of game. Should be a little bit careful with that, but you can use them, I would say. Yeah, coming to the specifications. IPS, not dual domain, meaning you have a okay viewing angle stability, but not the best one. Or maybe let's go into a white background so I can show you brightness, by the way, too. That's great because I already measured that. Here I measured in the middle of the display up to 427 nits, 9% below the average, and here it's 540 nits, 15% above the average. So this one is definitely brighter, and you already can see that over here. But like I told you, no IPS dual domain, just plain regular cheap IPS, so you have viewing angle stability that's okay, but could be a little bit better, as you can see here how the contrast and colors are changing a little. But again, as brightness is okay for that price, I would say we can live with that. Then let's come to the camera, because there is some differences. Here on the front side, you see here, you have a front flash on the smaller one that's missing on the big one. So therefore you have the bigger screen. Both are shooting photos with 5 megapixels and videos on the front and back side with Full HD 1080p. Backside, both 13 megapixels, just one SIM, as you can see here. Videos, like I told you, Full HD. Both have the same Snapdragon processor. It's a 410, so just 4 cores and 1.2 gigahertz only, and just Cortex-A43, meaning you do not have that high power Cortex-A47. So at least you have 2 GB of RAM, so it's the same combination like in the Moto G, for example, or in the LG G4C, and both I've tested, and there in the benchmark overall results, both are around about 45% below the average. So not really something if you want to have high quality graphics, games, or run 10, 15 apps in the background all together in the same time. But if you just use your phone for the regular things like text messaging, mail, phone calls, and so on, that should be okay. So don't expect too much, maybe like that. Everything else is okay. You have 4G, you have Wi-Fi N, no SE, Bluetooth 4.0, no NFC, okay, can live with that, I guess. And the only other difference I could see firsthand is here that this is Android 5.1 and this is 5.1.1. With the difference you can see here that you have here that additional users configuration, so you can add different users, guest users, for example. So if you use your phone in the family, share it with several people, then this would be the better. And if you do not need that at all, that's okay too. In case you should ask for updates, please don't. At least not me. I couldn't get any info from the manufacturer, like always. So I guess there might come an update to Android 6, but the question is when. Yeah, can take some weeks, a month. Don't ask me. Sorry for that. Don't wait for it. Let me call it like that, maybe. Yeah, well, and last not but least, I promised you to show you the inside, as you can remove the batteries here, looking like that on the smaller one, and here on the bigger Fab. Here we are. And this and that. So you see, same solution here with that 2 SIM slots and that additional SD slot. So you do not have to choose between if you expand the memory or use a second SIM. So you can have both here. Supported officially up to 64 gigabytes. Internal memory is 16 gigabyte. And if you have updated all pre-installed apps, you will have left 9.4 gigabyte net. That's the value you should calculate with. 9.4 gigabyte net internal plus that 64. In most cases, you can use bigger cards, but that's guaranteed here. Battery capacity, here we go. I couldn't do any runtime test at the moment because of the holidays, but I wanted to show you both before Christmas, so just let me get some guesses. Here we're talking about a capacity of 2500 milliamps, so if I compare the battery capacity to the size of the display, biggest consumer of power, then this relation is just 1% below the average, so I guess, don't nail me on it, I guess, I have to test that the runtime will be average too, so okay. And here we have a capacity of 2820 milliamps, so the ratio with the screen size here is 8% below the average. So I guess the runtime will be not the very best one, but yeah, okay still, so just a little bit below the average. If not anything is going definitely negative way. So I can give you any guarantee at that point. Please understand that I have to do runtime tests first, but this will take in the new year. I can't do at the moment. I'm sorry for that. But just to give you first impression, both should be okay from the runtime. No guarantee for that. Yeah, and last of all, let me start both. I wanted to show you something with the features, because both support tap to wake, meaning that double tap on the screen and then wake up the phone from the standby mode. You have to activate that in the settings first, and that's here called Smart Awake. Here we are. Here you can activate this one, so it works. I can show you now. Here it is. And the second thing is, it's the same on the small one, by the way, smart gestures. Here you can select, for example, that if a phone call comes in, you put it this side down, then it's mute and all the things you know. And especially you have here a good explanation what kind of option is doing what. So you can use these here very okay. And the only thing, like I've shown you, a difference is that users, multi-users mode here. So that's the only thing of Android 5.1.1 to versus Android 5 I could detect at the moment. Well, both are available right now. Like I told you, recommended retail price, including tax and web price here for the 5-inch phone is 190 euros. And for the Fab 4G, Pulp Fab 4G with 5.5 inch, it's 200 euros. I hope I could help you, give you a little bit first impressions here from the Wiko Pulp 4G and Pulp Fab 4G. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.